I don't know if y'all heard, but Diddy is planning on suing everybody, and that's YouTubers included. He got lawsuits coming at him left and right. Now he's seeking over $100 million in damages, and I believe he deserved more than that. He's in jail and don't nobody know why, and on top of all of that, you still got people filing lawsuits against him.
Another lawsuit filed against Shawn Diddy Combs. This time, a former stylist claims to be Diddy's victim in a case of sexual harassment and physical abuse. We're talking about someone named Deontay Nash. Was one of the witnesses, by the way, in the trial against Mr. Combs. He alleges that Combs turned his dream of working in entertainment into a nightmare. So in the lawsuit, he claims Combs assaulted him, stalked him, and threatened him during 10 years of employment. CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman covering the first Diddy trial, where the entertainer got off on some of the bigger charges. So walk us through these newest claims, Katrina.
Reed, so he outlines allegations of battery, assault, sexual violence, physical and psychological abuse, labor trafficking, he says. And a lot of what Deontay Nash says in this complaint mirrors testimony that we heard during that trial, both from Nash and from others, like Shawn Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who was a key witness at that trial. Deontay Nash is also a stylist who worked very closely with Ventura, and his testimony at that trial really bolstered what she had to say. But he talks in this complaint, Reed, about fearing for his life, not just while he was working for Shawn Combs, but afterwards. He tells stories about physical violence, about a time where he actually had to drive 100 miles an hour to try to escape Mr. Combs, and says he didn't call the police because he worried that that would be a death sentence. Now, our correspondent, Jerika Duncan, has actually talked to Deontay Nash. She's planning to sit down with him, and she said that he stands by what is in this document, and he says that to this day, he is still processing what happened to him while he was working for Shawn Combs.
So a lot of the same themes that we heard in the really big trial. We know that Combs will be sentenced October 3rd, convicted of 2 charges of transportation to engage in prostitution. Any word from his lawyers and family ahead of sentencing?
Yes, so they have filed a document. What they're asking for, Reed, is less than 14 months for a sentence for Shawn Combs. And as a reminder, by the time we hit the sentencing next week, he will have already served about a year. So that would essentially just be a couple months in prison. But what they're saying is that, one, he was acquitted on the most severe charges against him, and that should show that this jury found that he was innocent in a lot of ways. They also say this has already devastated his life, devastated his children's lives as well. They've also lost business opportunities. He's been on suicide watch, they say. What they essentially say is that they feel like he has already been punished enough, Reed. And in about a week, we're going to get to learn that sentence.
All right, we know you will break it. Katrina Kaufman, thank you so much.
People need to realize that the Diddy trial is over, and the only reason why he's sitting in jail is because they don't want people to feel like they wasted their time entertaining this nonsense that's been in the media for the past 2-3 years. Cassie got her money, and that's the end of the story. Nobody else got paid, and nobody else is gonna get paid except for Diddy when he get out of jail and sue everybody that been making up rumors about him. Shawn Diddy Combs filed a $100 million defamation suit against NBC Universal, Apple, and Peacock over making a Bad Boy doc. And there's no way they can deny that they did what they did in the court of law. His mother is also making moves to let the world know, hey, my son ain't perfect. None of us is perfect, but he don't deserve the treatment he's getting, the treatment he been getting, and on top of that, he's innocent. Except for the fact that he did some freaky things with Cassie, which was consensual in the hotel room with male escorts. It's not like he was trafficking Cassie. His mother is out there in the media. She 80-something years old, but she letting it be known that she ready for her son to come home. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was in the car the other day and some Bad Boy music came on, and I was embarrassed at the fact that I wanted to nod my head to the music. Now, the biggest thing going on in the world of Diddy today is him getting a pardon by Donald Trump. Charlie Kirk lost his life. A lot of people in their feelings about that. And that may be stopping Diddy from getting a pardon. But with Trump, you never know. Because now the talks are picking back up. And it's looking like Diddy just might get that pardon.
Diddy Combs' attorneys A CNN exclusive, one of Shawn Diddy Combs' attorneys gives her first interview since his conviction last month, and she's giving an answer to what's been largely speculated about. Will Diddy get a pardon? Watch.
Have people in Shawn Combs' orbit, have they had conversations with the Trump administration?
Yes. My understanding is that we have reached out.
Reached out is one thing, having a conversation is another. Do you know if there have been active conversations about a pardon?
Yes, it's my understanding that we've reached out and had conversations in reference to a pardon.
President Trump, when he was asked about this pardon, he said, quote, "I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and he seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well, but when I ran for office, he was very hostile." And the president indicated that a pardon is likely not on the table because of that break in his relationship with Mr. Combs years ago. How is he feeling now about the chances of a pardon given the president's commentary?
I think that Mr. Combs is a very hopeful person, and I believe that he remains hopeful.
Joining me now is a reporter who got that interview, CNN entertainment correspondent Elizabeth Wagmeister. And with the follow-up there, you know, reaching out and having a conversation are two different things. So we now know that they are having a conversation. What other insights did you learn?
Hey, Victor, it is so great to be with you. You know, as journalists, that we focus on the details, so we had to have that follow-up. But look, I sat in that courtroom nearly every day for this trial, along with our friend Laura Coates. And make no mistake, this verdict was a victory for the defense. Even though Shawn Combs was convicted on 2 counts, he was acquitted on the more serious charges. So I asked his attorney about the legal strategy here. Take a look at what she told me. This verdict was, in no uncertain terms, a victory for the defense. Talk about that strategy from day one, to come out of the gate and say he is a domestic abuser, but that is not what he is on trial for here.
So, you know, the strategy was to just tell the truth. That's really what we decided, to just tell the truth. We didn't need a creative story. We didn't need to overreach. We knew that telling the truth meant not guilty. We knew that he had not sex trafficked anyone, and we knew that RICO was absurd. So we figured, hey, we'll tell the truth and that will pay off. And I believe that, for the most part, that strategy worked.
He is still... Now, Victor, just yesterday, the judge actually denied the latest attempt from the defense at bail. They have been trying relentlessly to get Shawn Combs released ahead of his sentencing. But again, judge denied that, and that sentencing is set for October 3rd.
Yeah, Elizabeth, we'll remind people that the defense didn't put on a single witness after the weeks of witnesses from the prosecution. Does Attorney Westmoreland believe that the prosecutors just overplayed their hand here?
She absolutely believes that they overplayed their hand here. In fact, she does not even believe that they should have ever brought this case, and she tells me that's exactly why they didn't call any witnesses. She said that that was a risky strategy, not to call anyone, not to have Shawn Combs take the stand in his own defense to testify. But take a look here at what she told me about what she thinks about the government's case. Was this a mistake? Should the government have never brought this case?
Absolutely. The government's first mistake was bringing the case, period. And the second mistake was allowing it to keep going. I think they definitely knew early on, you know, they knew that there was no way that Mr. Combs committed sex trafficking or RICO. They knew that, and they just continued prosecuting the case anyway, and I think that was their second mistake. And I think the jury saw straight through it.
Now, attorney Nicole Westmoreland, keep in mind, she is one of the few people who is actually in Shawn Combs's very close inner circle. She has been visiting him in Brooklyn at the MDC, and she tells me that this would be hard for anyone, but especially somebody who was Shawn Combs, one of the most famous, powerful people in the world, now sitting in a jail cell. She says, though, that he is remorseful and that she believes that he still has a lot of good to do in the world. That is what she told me, Victor.
Elizabeth Wagmeister, great get.
I don't know what to tell y'all besides what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. The way they did Diddy was dead wrong. I thought he was a serial killer. I'm still waiting for them to tell us about them underground tunnels, the freak-off footage that they said they had, him beating the celebrities while they ODing on drugs and all that freaky stuff they were saying. Had me convinced that this man was really the devil. Come to find out, he old, with a limp noodle, can't get it up, popping Viagra's just so he can stroke it with Astroglide, while Cassie get banged out by men that she contact to come to the hotel to have a hotel night because her music ain't worth a damn and she had to do what she had to do to put some money in her pocket. The only thing she could offer Diddy is a visual of her getting banged out by some dudes that she barely even know, spreading STDs and things. I still feel like Cassie is a victim because he was a billionaire. I doubt if she was even a thousandaire. So there's people out there that's willing to participate in whatever madness just to put some money in their pockets. So he morally wrong for having her do those things for money. Not only her, but 50 Cent baby mama, all the other women that he was paying to do all that nasty, freaky stuff. I hope he learned his lesson because he about to be coming home. But if he go back to his old ways, that's going to make me feel like they should have just left him in jail.